Hello and welcome. I'm Peggy, and I hope you'll take time from your busy day to stay with us for the next half hour. I've looked forward to this for a long time, and we have a studio full of people who are dedicated to our young people and to providing a good future. And I'm honored to have Fred Crawford with me. Fred is the executive director of the Legacy Charter School, and they have just been awarded a United States Gold Award from the Department of Agriculture for all the work that they're doing to help young people know about fitness and nutrition, along with getting an education. And we have some wonderful educators right here, and I want to present Christopher Gist, who is the assistant principal of the elementary school, and Yvette Schrimmer, who is the third grade elementary school teacher. And after the break, we're going to meet more people that are involved with our youngsters. But this is such a thrill and such a challenge that you are meeting.
Well, thank you. We're very pleased to be recognized for what we're doing with fitness and nutrition. We're the only school in the state of South Carolina to receive this recognition. Again, you're looking at the school lunch program, and again, there's no vending on campus, no fried foods. We have a fresh fruit and vegetable grant, and we also have a after-school program and a supper program. So there's a lot we're doing with nutrition. And really, you think about a healthy body nourishes the mind. And I think that's part of our philosophy, you know, as far as the work we're doing and academic achievement. We feel like that if kids are hungry, it's difficult to learn.
All right, the Legacy Charter School is 2 campuses. You have elementary, middle, and high school.
Correct. The elementary school is K-5 through 4th grade. It's at the former Fine Arts Center in Greenville County off of West Washington, and right around the corner, the middle and high school program, the early college high school, is at the former Parker High School campus. So we have about 1,100 students today.
And this is the total program. You have after school tutoring and help. These kids just aren't turned loose, right? As a 3rd grade teacher, you have how many students? You've tried to keep your classes small?
The students, they remain under 22. 22 or under. Presently, I have 20.
Okay. And tell me about being assistant principal of an elementary school.
It's a very big job. Right now, we're excited at the elementary school. We are on a waiting list in grades kindergarten and 2nd. I do a lot with just making sure that the classes are filled and we get our students off the waiting list into the classes, and I also help with our in our transportation. We're a charter school, but we actually provide buses for our students to get back and forth to school as well. And so that's on a first come, first serve basis. And so that's a pretty busy part of my job.
Okay. Now, who can come to this school? It's wide open to any child?
It is open to anyone. There is a commitment required of the parent and the child and the teacher each school year. We have a commitment to excellence that we all agree to hold up our end for the child to be successful throughout the school year.
So you require a commitment, not just from the student, but from the family member or the person who is responsible for the child.
Yes, ma'am.
In what way? What do they have to take part in something or be there as a support group, or what?
You know, it's making sure that the child is prepared each and every day, that they are in school on time, that they are dressed in their uniform, that they have been checked for having completed their homework each day so they can come in and learn each lesson provided by their teachers, or that they're early at school so that they can receive their free breakfast in the morning to come in ready to learn.
You serve 3 meals a day?
3 meals a day, 2 through the, as part of the federal school lunch and breakfast program.
Yeah.
We have the 3rd meal is actually through the Department of Social Services, DSS, based on the neighborhood we're in and the students that we serve. So we do have a supper program in the afternoons.
So you are a Title I?
Title I high poverty school.
Okay, so you're helping these kids aim high.
Absolutely.
That ordinarily would not have that opportunity.
Absolutely. We look at each child as being college bound from the day they enter the school. And we provide, I think, the supports and structures in place to get them, to the finish line, and that end too, graduating, not needing remediation for higher ed. Hopefully, all will have some college experience prior to graduation, and 100% we look to attend college.
And this is, many of these young people come from homes where education has not been a part of their lives.
Well, I think you'll find most of our students may be first in their family that will go to college. And again, if you're looking at meeting the need in the community, that is very important that they, again, graduate with the skill sets, and I'll say being not only college but work ready as well. And again, a lot of what we do is teaching, I'll call it good habits, and again, you mentioned work ethic, coming to school, being on time, being prepared, wearing the uniform, all that's part of the structures.
They do wear uniforms?
Yes, the middle and elementary school wear polos, purple polos and khakis. We actually provide each student with two uniforms. And at the high school, the early college students, we're partnering with Greenville Tech. Once they qualify, we run a shuttle bus back and forth to Tech. They're in the actual college classes. But they wear white Oxfords. The girls wear cross ties and the boys wear ties.
So they're kind of emotionally ready to learn. They don't come in there all...
Well, I go back to what I said earlier. That, to me, that's work ethic. You go back, there's a certain way you have to dress if you fly an airplane or you work at McDonald's. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, there's a certain expectation, again. Work ethic, being prepared, part of that is, being ready for the work of the day.
Tell me about this fitness program. That's...
Well, every student has PE, regardless, at least 45 minutes a day, whether they're in kindergarten or whether they're in a senior in high school. So that's something unique. There's not another school in the state that does that. Also, our employees of the school, we must work out 3 times a week for 30 minutes. So we have a wellness part too. Mr. Guest is probably one of the first ones in the afternoon in the center, the fitness center. And we actually open up the fitness center for our parents as well after school and on Saturdays. So the parents and community can come in and use the fitness center. And we've taught last year even nutrition classes and cooking classes for our staff and parents.
That's incredible. It is. And Yvette, tell me, how important in a child's learning experience is the parents or the person responsible?
You know, the connection the teacher makes with the parent from the beginning of the school year, from day one, is essential. The connection that you make, whether it's the grandparent or an aunt or an uncle or just the legal guardian, it's the only connection you have to that child's home life to reinforce whatever you give them during the day to continue throughout the school year when they go home. So that connection is very important. We have conferences quarterly with the parents. Many of us, we have telephone Tuesdays where we make contact with at least 5 parents each week. We have Lions Love cards that we send home either through the mail or with the child, commending the child for something out of the ordinary, a social skill they did exceptionally well, or something that they did, a kind act or kind words they said. And each teacher has their own unique vision of what they do in their classroom for each of their children. And there are very many supportive parents who we have at our school that we are very lucky to have at our school. And with our support staff and our administration, as a teacher, we are supported for the rest of the parents who we may have difficulty with getting that support at home.
Okay, so that is vital. And that goes for any child in any school.
Right.
The parents or the caregiver has to be underneath to
Well, we're having
encourage.
Student-led conferences, parent conferences, the end of this week, and we'll expect that hopefully that everyone will come in. In some cases, when the parent's not there, particularly as the kids are older, we'll have one of the adults on staff sit in for that student to act as on their behalf.
Now you mentioned, I know most charter schools do not have transportation, but you have arranged somehow that you have transportation, and these high school age that go by bus to Greenville Tech Charter High School, on the campus of Greenville Tech. Will they also graduate, some of them, with college credits before they even graduate from high school?
Well, they will, and we right now have a group of kids in the 9th grade we see as being our first group that will graduate with an associate degree while in high school. Some of them earned credits last year, high school credits in the 8th grade. Again, they have the opportunities to advance and accelerate to tech as soon as possible. The United Way is a partner. We're a community partner with the United Way. They've looked at our area demographically and looking at what the dropout rate is, what the needs are in the community, and again, looking at the poverty index. Getting them to college and having those opportunities are critical, and part of that, they're helping us provide the transportation back and forth to Greenville Tech and helping us buy college textbooks for our kids while going to Tech. So those two things then it takes a partnership, a lot of folks working together in that end. As far as the regular buses and transportation, you don't have to go too far from the school that, many parents maybe may only have one car, and the breadwinner's using it, so they can only go where the bus takes them. So they really may not have choice, and that's one reason we started running bus routes, is to give access to opportunities and all students having choice in this case for Legacy.
And you have, of course, fitness every day. This business of teaching people to make food choices that are healthy, that's one of the high things that's on your list, isn't it? Young people, I mean, here you are with the middle school, right? Or elementary school kids. So if you get them to eat fruits and vegetables and choose not fries and junk food, it becomes a part of the way they think and require nutrition.
It is. I think it's just what they accept school as school is. This is what they're used to. I mean,
Yeah.
you have no fried foods and vending on campus. Plus, in our community, too, I guess some areas they call it a food desert. There's not a market for fresh fruit and vegetables. I mean, it's mainly quick stop, convenience store, and a lot of
Fast
that's
food stuff.
high, and the obesity problem that we have in our country. This is one way to address it with early lifestyle and making good choices.
So you're not only reaching out to the kids, but to the families beyond the children.
That's right. Again, as I say, with our fitness center being open for parents, as well as our wellness program, and even last year we had some of the instructors at Furman came out and offered the nutrition and cooking classes, and that was very successful, and we plan to do more of that.
That's what you've done is phenomenal. And we're going to go to a quick break, and my friend Fred Crawford is going to stay here. And I wanted to thank Chris Gist and Yvette Schulman for coming. And we're going to put somebody else in your place who does another unique job at Legacy. Okay, we'll be right back. Well, welcome back. And today we have Fred Crawford, who is the Executive Director of the Legacy Charter School. And if you joined us late, they have been the United States Gold Award from the Department of Agriculture for all the great outreach they're doing in fitness and nutrition and the arts. What they're doing with these young people is tremendous. And I want to reintroduce Fred Crawford. And next to him is Demetrius Fletcher, who is an 8th grade South Carolina history teacher. And of course, he is the after-school coordinator. And then next to him is Frank Powell, who is principal of the middle school. Thank you all for coming and sharing your stories with us. And we have some pictures, so maybe we can put those up so people can get an idea of the student body and what the school looks like, and while we talk. If you can. Those are some of your students, right?
Yes, we start strings in the 3rd grade and percussion. All of our students have an opportunity to begin, and hopefully we'll aspire to make music a part of their life as well. We look at a holistic approach of not only academics and fitness and nutrition, but the arts are important as well.
So I don't know exactly how many pictures we have, but we wanted to share some of them with you.
There's our elementary students and having a meal. And again, part of that too is that's our choral group, I believe. And then we've got, our after-school program. Our school day is longer than a typical school day, as well as our school
Yeah,
year.
Demetrius, you can address that, can't you? They
Yes,
stay all
ma'am.
day,
All day long.
all day long. And then they are given an evening meal
Yes, ma'am.
if they choose to stay. I mean, and do you work with these kids then after school and doing homework and achievement?
Yes, ma'am. Basically, what we do is students that are making below 80 or had problems on the pass test, we try to identify those students, then we bring them in for extra help. A lot of our students are not making the 80 because they don't have the study skills to
Yeah.
actually, and the discipline to do the homework. So therefore, we bring them in after school. We have about 15 people that actually, 2 of them we got some one-on-one, depending on what their needs
What
are.
their needs are.
To help with their homework. The program is a great success. Last year we had a couple of students that was failing all subjects. And at the end of the year, they end up making all A's. So it's a great success for the ones who utilize it for what we have it there for. And they do get to eat. They eat right after school, so they're on a full stomach, so that kind of calms them down a little bit. So it makes it easier for us.
And how important is it in our schools to teach history, and especially our own history?
Well, I think it's very important because if you don't know history, it will repeat itself. And if we look at what's going on in the world today, a lot of students have not been taught it, so therefore they don't understand how the government works. And
Or how it breaks down?
right, or not work, basically.
On furlough right now, aren't we?
And Frank, you deal with probably middle school kids, and that can be a real
It could be a
difficult
challenge,
time.
but I've been doing this for about 20 years, and my whole career has been in middle school, and I love them. I love that age, and the fact that they really desire to have your attention, and they need that extra help and guidance. And people like Mr. Fletcher and I and Mr. Crawford, we love educating children. So it's our life work for sure.
So you're getting them ready for not just a graduation certificate, but a life.
You
To
most
be able
definitely.
to function and earn a living and be a part of society.
Yes, ma'am.
And how many kids are you responsible for in the
Almost 400 we have at the middle school. And gets grades 5 through 8 at our middle school. We're almost 400 kids, about 380, a little over 380 right now.
And I heard you mention a choir.
Yeah. We have a music program, as I say, again, fine arts. You look at what we do. Plus, another thing we do that's unique are field trips. All of our classes take field trips each month, and as third grade up, they take an overnight trip. For a lot of our students, last year we took our juniors to D.C. For many of them, it was their first time to
be out.
really be out on a trip that far.
Now, what age group went to D.C.?
That was our U.S. History 11th grade. It's part of the curriculum.
Okay, the high school.
Right,
Yeah.
high school. And
Yeah.
again, speaking of high school, they're now seniors. We have about 32 seniors in this first class. We'll have our first graduation in May. We have our first cohort of students earning college credit while in high school. Again, these are some of the trailblazers, some of the first in family maybe going to college or demystifying college to them, but the kids behind them are looking to that, and they see, you can do it, I can do it too. And really it just sort of builds momentum. As I said earlier, that we anticipate some of our ninth graders to actually graduate from high school with an associate's degree
Now,
at no cost to the student or the parent.
that's fabulous. That's really, Frank, you're the one I want to ask about this. What about discipline problems? That's the age group.
I would say this, discipline problems are determined by a lot of things, but at Legacy we have developed, and Mr. Fletcher can attest to this, over the last 3 years we've developed a culture at Legacy where you're going to be loved, you're going to be taken care of, and so the majority of kids that we have that have been with us the last few years understand that now. We've got some that we have new kids and they have to learn that we have a certain way of doing things, and we expect you to do it that way. And we're going to nurture you and do everything we can to take care of you and make you successful. And they begin to trust their teachers and trust all the adults in our building. When they do that, they feel comfortable. And of course, when they feel comfortable, they behave themselves and they do better and want their their fellow classmates to do the same thing.
But they understand up front what is acceptable and what isn't.
They sure do.
There's no mystery.
No,
They're
and
told
that's
this
repeated.
is what's expected of you.
Yes, ma'am, and that's repeated to them a lot. And we have high expectations for them, and we continue to tell them why we have those high expectations for them.
And kids
They
understand that, don't they?
They sure do. They sure do.
I think kids are looking for structure. They really are. And many times if you don't provide it, they'll find it in other ways. But I think you start, as I said before, with the uniform. You start with 80% is considered mastery. If not, your day's longer, extended time. A lot of supports are in place to help you. We're going to expect a lot of you, and you can expect a lot of us.
And they understand.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think it becomes part of the culture of the school, particularly when they start younger grades up. This is all they've known school to be. So there's a lot of, as I just said before, structure in place and geared to meet their individual needs.
And any child can come to that school. You don't discriminate against anybody. If they're in Greenville County, is that it?
Right. You have to be eligible to enroll in Greenville County Public Schools. We are a part of Greenville County. Out-of-county students, again, if we have a wait list, which we do now, could not come. They'd have to pay out-of-county tuition, but you cannot displace an in-county student with an out-of-county
So
student.
you have right now a waiting list
We
for
do.
people to send their children to your school.
We do at certain grade levels,
grades.
not all. The upper grades still have some room in them. The first grade, maybe a few slots. Kindergarten, second grade, wait list. Fifth grade, sixth grade's getting close. So yeah, there's still seats available. We still have open enrollment throughout the year until the seats are full.
So if somebody out there has a child and they think, this is special, I want this for my child, and we live in Greenville County, we have a website, or they can call
Website,
Legacy Charter School and find out what.
Find out, look on the website, make an appointment, come visit the school during the day, see school as school is. Again, look to see if it's really the kind of program you would want for your child. And, our best ambassadors are the kids we have now. We've grown just in the last year from just over 800 to almost 1,100 students. We will be capped, though, at 1,400, and that's counting all grades. And I see that day coming pretty soon. We'll probably will have to have a lottery this year for the early grades.
I didn't know if we've used all the pictures or not. We've been so busy talking, but we did show you some of the classes and some of the children. And what a blessing you have become to these families and these kids that ordinarily, I mean, you're not, I hate to use the word poverty, but your children do not come from great blessings. They come from need.
We've got a range of students, again, in that end, but you're right, the community we're in, and that's why we're there, is to address the needs in this community. The school should be the cornerstone for the community.
And Frank, you and Demetrius, what do you try to instill in the age group that you work with, and especially the after-school group? What are the things you stress for these kids?
Well, I guess basically the thing that I want them to know, the expectation is high. We expect a lot out of our students, but the gain is greater. If they live up to the expectation, I mean, we set goals. They have to meet certain goals, and we want all of them to go to college. So therefore, we provide the after-school program, tutoring. We provide the stuff to help them get to that goal if they apply themselves. So we set the expectation high, even for our lowest students, because we believe that all of them got the ability to go to college. So therefore, they know when they come in the door that our expectation is high. We're going to love them, but we're going to hold them accountable to reach that goal.
And you're there to back them up.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And Frank, do you have anything you want to add to that?
As you say, to back them up, I'd say that's a big key to us, is a lot of our kids come from environments where they can't trust the adults in their lives. So we make sure that we do everything we can to know that they're going to trust us. We're going to be there for them and be there to take care of them and get them through life. So
It's what a blessing.
Well, we need to know each student by, I like to say, need and name, and then we do what needs to be done. Many times it may be acting as a surrogate parent, if you think of that, or whatever it takes. We believe all our children have the capacity to learn and to obtain great things by going to college.
And this is the answer for the future, not only of our children right here, but for our nation. I thank you all. God bless you for what you're doing in the upstate of South Carolina. The Legacy Charter School. We had to show you what they're doing. And I'll say it, I always say it, if you have little children at home, pick them up and read to them. We'll see you next time.